Okay, great. Hey guys, we're live. It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Here's the dev meeting minutes. Drop your name in, or we'll politely ask you to leave after 10 minutes if you haven't put your name into the meeting agenda. So you'll find the link in the Zoom chat. You can also use this convenient link, meet.meshery.io/dev meet/dev minutes. That's in the Zoom chat as well. Okay, we take a look at the agenda. Let's see. I think Abid said he'll be a little bit late. Put this down here. Anybody else have meeting agenda items? Okay, if you don't, since you're not speaking up, so Saurabh, I assume that you don't.
I'm adding, sir. Adding.
Can't hear you.
I'm adding agenda.
Okay, speak up when I ask then. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you unless that person behind you has something to say. Okay, all right. I guess we've got all the items that we're gonna have. Okay, is Matthew here? No. Is Ian here? No. Okay, so we'll skip the regular agenda items, the standing agenda items. We don't have any announcements. The first topic up is Ritesh and Kurti.
Yes. So we have been working on this learning path for contribution to Meshery, and we have drafted an outline. It's incomplete now, but we want feedback on this, and so we can like finalize the items in the learning path and start contributing for the content.
Cool. Some feedback I'd give is don't tell people how to set up their Ubuntu system. It's like it's a waste of time. If you go back if you don't share it, I can't give feedback for my part. So that's all I could see since you were scrolling. Does that make sense or no? Feel free to disagree.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Did anyone else get me? Kurti?
Yes.
Yes, I do understand you. In terms of setting up Meshery, Ubuntu installation is really not needed because we are really concentrated on the Kubernetes aspect in terms of the tooling.
Cool. Kurti and Ritesh, do you guys agree? Or is that not what you're writing this about?
Yeah, this is mainly focused on the contributors.
I'll remove that one.
Kurti, I did why? Why would you remove it?
Not like we are not focused on that, right?
On
So
what?
it's basic, like the Ubuntu one.
Yeah, but I mean, Raphael's giving feedback about something else, not what you guys are writing the learning path about. Do we have a total communication breakdown? Are you guys just not understanding each other or what?
Actually, I didn't heard what Rafael said, but I will go through the meet again and uh, take the feedback.
Okay. It is okay. Okay. You get yeah. Okay. Are you on any other feedback or we can watch me tug on my beard for a while if you want. So no other feedback wanted? Are you dropping the link for people? Are you going to send it out to developers at Meshery.io or Raphael's feedback is great feedback for Meshery users, for a learning path about Meshery users. If you're writing one for a learning path about Meshery contributors, probably that's a different audience.
Okay. And one more thing, uh, should we include quizzes at the end of every chapter, or would you prefer a single quiz at the end of every course?
I don't know, what would you prefer?
Um, I was thinking of doing it at the end of every chapter, but I don't know if it will make it more overwhelming.
Depends on what kind of quiz you give, I guess. I don't know. What do you think? You think if you think it's too overwhelming, okay, then don't do it. If you think it
Oh.
becomes at some point it becomes worthless if you don't ask some questions. So there's a
Yeah,
balance.
then I'll reduce the number of questions and just keep it a little basic so that others can, feel don't
Yeah.
won't get overwhelmed by it.
It also becomes worthless if you make it too basic, right?
Oh, okay, got it.
Where are you gonna ask questions? How many
At the
tests have
end,
you how many
yeah,
tests have you taken in your life? Do you know?
I'm sorry, what?
How many classes have you taken in your life? Do you know? Ritesh, how many have you taken?
I have taken many, like
Yeah,
Do
in
you guys
college
know
and
how
all.
many?
no,
No, never counted.
It's innumerable almost, right? You have no idea. Like, so at some point, if you've taken that many classes, which all have curriculum and then some number of tests and some number of questions, at some point, I would think you probably have a good sense of what's too few questions and what's too many. But I don't know, maybe you're still learning how to take classes. I don't know. Do you think that you can figure that out, or do you need me to tell you what that answer is?
yeah, I'll
No, we
figure.
can figure that out.
All
Yeah,
right, get it figured out. How long we've been working on this? I don't know,
Like,
too long for my patience. I'll tell you. Like, so
yeah,
yeah, get it written. It's already all written. It's all written, all inside of the Meshery docs. You're just assembling it into a sequential path with a couple of 5 or 10 question quizzes, putting it into some modules that kind of make sense. Don't repeat instructions that you find on other websites for how to update, you know, Ubuntu or something, or how to install WSL2. You're wasting your time and you're going to get it wrong and the content's going to get outdated. We're not authoritative for that. Somebody else is. Microsoft, whoever writes WSL2, as an example. We are authoritative for Meshery and how you install Meshery and so, or how you set up Meshery. You want to make sure that at the same time that you're writing out a learning path for contributors, there's a sister learning path and an outline for users. Is part of your learning path to the goal to end up with a certificate or no?
yeah, it will have a certification.
Oh, nice, nice, cool. And so would the user facing learning path have a certificate?
No, no, it doesn't have right now.
Okay. I wonder if these are two different learning paths or if they're the same learning path, like mastering Meshery, but with just a couple of different courses. each course having any number of modules, each module having any number of, pages and quizzes, labs. I don't know. Do you guys have that outline, that structure?
Yeah, the mastering Meshery has also should have a CLI part as well, which should be outlined as well. But here we are like we were discussing about the mastering contribution to Meshery.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to call one mastering Meshery if you're going to have
Yeah.
two. Because mastering Meshery would cover everything if you're really mastering Meshery. If you're mastering using Meshery, or if you're mastering contributing to Meshery, okay, then you're distinguishing. Does the outline that you guys have cover both?
No, it is mainly focused on the contributing part
Okay, so part of the
and some
feedback.
introduction to some concepts.
Okay. Great. So how are you gonna clarify the difference between those two audiences? Cody,
Mainly the mastering Meshery is more about user-centric, so they can
yeah,
like other users and
I
all.
wouldn't call it mastering Meshery. I think we just went over that, right? Because you're gonna get
Yeah,
Raphael giving you feedback about something you're not writing, right? And it's great feedback. Raphael's feedback was, spot on for, the users one. So what other
and
feedback, Cody, did you guys want?
Um,
uh,
Actually, we were focusing more on contributing to Meshery, a learning path.
Yeah,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, so we will shift the focus now more on like user, the ones who are using Meshery.
Okay, I think Ritesh was just saying that you guys aren't gonna do that. I guess I don't know what you guys are working on then. You guys are doing both, or
no, this one is only focused on the contributor one. The existing one is only focused on the user-centric part.
cool? Is that good, Curdy? Since I'll mediate your conversation, I guess. Are you guys talking outside of this, or 'cause it seems like we don't know what we're writing?
We
Okay, no
are
response. What?
we are but we will have a detailed, meeting regarding this, and we will plan the outline uh, more precisely.
Okay, but I'm just giving feedback because other people aren't necessarily. Were you guys looking for feedback from others in any specific areas that, the more specific your questions are, maybe the easier it is for people to give feedback? You're not
Uh,
sharing the doc either this whole time, so it's like, I don't know if anyone's looking at it. So no questions. Cody, what did you want feedback today? What feedback are you looking for?
This one was for the quizzes and the basic structure of the, outline we had, and if we should elongate it more. And I think you clarified it. So we will work on it more, and then maybe I can ask like the particular maintainers of that section. Uh,
What for that? For what?
I
Does the
so
for
like
nothing?
we have
Cody, that silence is out of respect to you to let you ask your question, to say what you're going to say.
Yeah, right now I don't have any, like I was thinking of also adding, particular mistakes people make in that while contributing to that specific area. So I was thinking of asking maintainers about those mistakes so we can include at the end in this contributing to Meshery course, so people could see that and have an idea to avoid those mistakes, the common ones.
That's a great idea. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense that you'd have to ask the maintainers for that sort of insight, and that sort of insight makes the learning path worth reading rather than just reading Meshery docs.
Yeah.
Will you guys include any exercises, do you think, like labs or something? Or
Currently, it doesn't have any quiz or labs, but yeah, we have to include it. So to make it like more interactive.
what do you think those would entail?
Like quizzes can every chapter can have quizzes, and after like suppose contributing to a BATS course can have a lab to create a like an example, maybe an example test case.
Hmm. Yeah. So if you were to extrapolate that, it sounds like potentially having the contributor make some amount of contribution, whether that's a code change or whatever is appropriate on a per component basis, maybe something for Meshery CTL, maybe something for Meshery server, Meshery UI, maybe Meshery adapter, maybe the Meshery operator, or I don't know. Seems like there would be some discussion in there about just other resources and environment setup that's needed. Like if to Raphael's point, if Meshery interacts with Kubernetes quite a bit as a contributor to the project, does that mean that you have to have Kubernetes around? If you have Kubernetes, if you have to, or if you don't, do you have to be, what do you have to know about Kubernetes in order to help to contribute? Those are probably good things to cover. Hopefully you can say, you don't have to know a lot about Kubernetes. You don't have to have a copy of Kubernetes. Here's static data that you could use instead. Here's the hosted playground environment that you can use instead. Like, those might be good things to be aware of. I know there's some contributors that don't necessarily have machines that can run Meshery and run Kubernetes and run Slack and run their IDE and all at the same time. That can be a challenge. Might be something to cover.
Yeah, noted.
I recommend that you guys ask specific questions. Like if you're going to ask if it's long enough or has full coverage, like show the outline. I haven't seen the outline. I mean, and the others on the call that you're hoping to get feedback from, I'm hoping others like Raphael, which did a great job of speaking up and offering some feedback. Others can offer it if you show it.
So the outline is like each area of Meshery. Let me show. Like each area of Meshery will have like a Meshery CTL or working with docs has a separate course. Each is divided into a course. Like you can see contributing to UI or contributing to CLI. Each is divided into courses, and each courses will have chapters involving like this first course will be the overview about like the Meshery project and how to contribute, why to contribute and where to contribute, and a common GitHub flow you follow to raise a PR, and then the course start with working with docs, and it will have all the information about how you can go about contributing to docs, the overview of the docs, and setting up a development environment to contribute to docs, and the basic contribution flow to contribute and the framework used for contributing to docs, and also there will be repository structure and other features involving the docs. So each course will have like a local development setup, the folder structure for that project, and how you can go about contributing to docs, and also some concepts that are related to that course, like here a table of contents is manually generated Meshery docs, so there will be information about it. So that's how the course outline is structured.
Cool. And
And
then
at the last, we have included tutorials for the contributor training series, and it will also have some, depending on the course, it will have labs, and also each chapter will follow a quiz.
and there's an implicit request for feedback, I think. Right, Ritesh, to everyone on the call.
If like folks can go through the outline and review it once the structure and
Actually, like one question for this is like have you kind of like figured out like where we can actually just reuse from the existing documentation, because some of this stuff would be already documented like in different parts for each of these sections. So like have you figured that out, what can be directly reused? Because that would be better if you can just copy paste some of the content from existing places rather than rewriting that.
yeah, we can just for most of the sections we can copy paste the content. For others, we can like provide more hand-holding to the documents and provide more details about a particular section.
Yeah, as you do that, like for the sections that can be kind of picked directly from documentation, existing places, or where they're like if you put the source there, like just for our own purpose, because then we know like where it's coming from and what needs to be updated. So we don't kind of do double work every time we have to make updates. So we know like where it's sourced from and just copy paste every time we need.
Yeah, it will be good if the content matches the docs. It will be easy to follow you.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So are you guys gonna duplicate the markdown that's from the docs and put it into the learning path, or are you just gonna refer from the learning path to the docs, or?
Some sections can have like copy pasted content, but others section, depending on the section, like if it requires more detailed explanation, it will have a reference through the docs and will add more details to it. So contributor can have better understanding of that particular topic.
Cool. And then who's involved in the initiative?
Uh, uh, for now, I am and only Kirti, and also Himani also volunteered, but if she is present in the meet. And
Hamani, you're not too, you, are you gonna speak up or no?
Oh,
By the way, turn on your webcam if you're gonna speak up, if you would. The same,
I
the same for
I'm
Cody.
actually I'll do it next time. I'm actually at my friend's house and it's
Okay,
festival here, so
gotcha. Okay, no problem.
okay.
But did you just, are you participate? Are you,
No, I did not. Sorry.
oh, okay. And then on an ongoing basis, are you participating on this or not?
This outline? No, I did not.
Okay. Okay, that's not what I asked, but whatever. Okay, anybody else?
Okay.
So Zahan is not participating. Okay, got it. All right, and then Kirti, considering that there would be a certificate, I guess, have you guys been thinking about what level of rigor, is appropriate in terms of qualifying, vetting someone, qualifying their understanding?
Yeah, yeah, just a sec.
Okay. All right. I'll let you think about that more. Okay, should we move to the next topic, or Ritesh, anything else you wanted to ask?
No, currently
Okay, so it's
I
just you
don't have
and
any more.
Kirti working on this. All right. That doc that you're sharing, is it in the community drive?
Yeah, it's in community drive.
All right. And then let me know if you need any help to ensure that Kirti has right access to the doc. I encourage you guys to send it out
Yeah,
to the developer mailing list to, solicit feedback, get some others involved.
sure.
Great, cool. This is great. I mean, I would really love to see that be completed. I have moderate to low confidence that you guys are going to complete it. It doesn't sound like anyone's really turning their brain on and putting any time into it, but I could be mistaken. I hope I'm mistaken. Or maybe the brains are turned on, but it's just not enough. I don't know.
Yeah,
Kirti,
the progress has been really slow now, but yeah, now we will work on it and turn our brains on.
sure. Yeah, and it's not even, yeah, okay, not even necessarily progress as much as like thinking through what you're trying to do and qualifying it, comparing it to the other learning path, or is this a different learning path, or what is that stratum of a learning path? It's like, are there inside of a learning path, you can have one or more courses, in the course, one or more modules, in the module, one or more chapters, in the module, one or more labs, one or more quizzes. You can have tests in there. Like, what would, if there are labs, it's just, I'm not hearing a lot of the rest of it, because right now it's less. The nice thing of what you guys are trying to do is, to Abid's point, is it's less about that you don't, we're fortunate that you don't have to necessarily create a ton of new instructions and content, because that would be really difficult. Much of what is needed is in the 30 or so contributing pages in the docs, which is, very helpful. And there's that Meshery architecture slide deck that's very helpful to just conveying concepts, and some of the rest of the docs, like, it's like most of the material is there. Really, what you guys are doing in the initiative is a sweet initiative. It's to take and give an ordered experience to comprehending Meshery, looking at it from the inside, so to speak, from a contributor's perspective, and helping people familiarize with in a standard way in each section, like with the technical frameworks that are used, how you can, have your dev environment set up with those frameworks, what are the best practices and principles of our engineering and our architecture, which are all written into the design specs, like that we have lots of that. When you need to create a new concept, how do you do that? How are we being schema driven through and through? Like, there's a ton within there, and either of the two of you, if either of the two of you understood just half of that, that would be impressive. That would be a lot. And so I think part of what you guys need to do as you're barreling down this path is to, not only ask some of those questions about information architecture, the structure of the document, the structure of the learning path, and how you make each of the sections consistent and how many sections there should be and whether they should have quizzes and to what degree of rigor are they and what hands-on aspects are people doing? How might they prove that they've done what you've asked them to do if they're to create a BATS test or whatever. And that part of what Curdy had suggested is that you guys might solicit some insight from maintainers on pitfalls on what not to do or what gotchas or caveats to watch out for. In the same way, you might solicit from them insights on what you should do or like tips and tricks like workarounds or things that things that you should make sure to get right. And part of that is that your chances of success will improve by adding a few more to the team, a few more to the initiative, because it's a lot to cover. Just even though much of this is all written down or just to grok the concepts and organize them, still takes a bit. So when you send it out to the mailing list, that'll be a point by which you can still, you're still building momentum and soliciting other contributors to get engaged. So you might think about breaking down part of the responsibilities too. Maybe if someone's trying to help, if there's 10 sections, maybe you're breaking it into, assignments by section, or maybe one of you is just focused on generating some test questions, some quiz questions, or one of you is focused on some labs or something. But I think just that sort of an organizing more about the initiative and organizing the initiative, and probably less about the actual particulars of the content itself, because you're sort of relying on what's already published for that. Anyway, if you probably want to think about it in that way, like, how are we? Because how are we organizing the initiative? Good. I mean, I just, food for thought. You don't have to take any of what I just said to heart, but any final thoughts, Ritesh or Kurti? Do you guys have an open issue, maybe that could be used to solicit, other contributors as well?
Yeah, we can open issues and to get more folks involved in it. We do need help to organize.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, there is. If you end up doing this learning path or this certificate, as part of the content that's available in the Meshery Academy, then wonderful. If you think about it in that sense, that will help you organize some of the content as well. And by academy, there's a particular structure to it and a particular way of organizing the content. It might mean that you guys would want a repository dedicated to this initiative, potentially a Meshery Academy, potentially. There's a Layer 5 Academy that has Meshery content in it that could be used. So there's a pre-existing one.
I was going through Layer 5 docs about creating new learning paths. So it had like to fork the example repo of the Layer 5 Academy. So we have to do the same, or we can just have it in the Layer 5 docs repository.
Yeah. Does anybody have a perspective about that question?
I thought
Zahan,
it was mainly for like enterprises or content creator to fork that repo and use it as an example.
Yeah, like taking that as an example and creating a separate academia from Meshery would be the way to go. And that's how
Yeah.
we did for
It's like,
exascale also.
Ranjit, we can't hear you. Nitish, I'm probably like missed your question, but like the academy theme, sorry, the academy example repo is just for like an example to how to create your own academy, and the layer 5 academy is where you can put this content. So I don't think we need another repo, but yeah, this is the place where you would probably put this new learning path or certification.
Okay. Yeah, this answers my question.
Okay, nice.
Cool. All right. So next topic, Zahan.
Yeah. So first, for the question, can we edit the published design? The answer is no, even with the provider admin account. So even you replace the ID and it will make this code error. And yeah, so it will fail to edit this or changes. Also, I found this arrow is the same one when we see in the catalog thumbnail. So I guess maybe it's kind of the same reason why we get all of these arrows. Yeah, they are all the 500 arrow code, and it says the same thing as I made here.
Yikes.
Yeah, and for the annotation templates, I create one for the information box and for the title. I try to, so there are two bugs I found, so I try to add an image of 5, and because the 5 is totally black line, so it will be invisible here. Even you add a background, it will look kind of ugly. And there's I think it's a bug when you try to make the image larger, make the image large. Yes. It will just be a corner of it. And when I try to use this section, there's also, so when you put something in the section and you refresh it, it will not save. The section will be empty again. The all components are removed outside. Yeah. So I just use the templates we use to make this.
Anybody got feedback?
Yeah, this is for like when you want to create design in Canvas, you can use the, you can not only use the text box, you can also come to the templates to copy it, yeah, in your other design, and write your own things like the Kubernetes. Yeah, so it can make your design looks more organized. Yeah, it will look better.
And like for the 5, what we might like, there we might have kind of a light and dark version of the SVGs, or use a kind of, I think a light background might not look better. So yeah, I think we might have a dark and light version of the SVGs.
Yeah, we don't at the moment. One thing we don't at the moment, but that makes sense that we would. And maybe there's somebody on the call that's into vector graphics that can take those SVGs and replace the black with white. So you right now you've set a white background, is that right?
Yeah.
Then if you take the corner of the image and you scale it with the aspect ratio maintained, so scale it diagonally and keep going diagonally for a long way. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. And when you release, nothing happens. Okay. All right. And you added that as a background, or you just dragged and dropped the image?
Yeah, add image,
Oh, okay.
switch image. Yeah, and I set the background as white.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Since no one else is giving feedback, if you got to go back to the first thing that you were saying. I don't think anyone on the call got it. And I don't think even of the people that are supposed to get it got it. So
The
Wiley,
publish-
yeah.
Yeah, so we can publish our design in the catalog, and so once the design got published, it's impossible to edit the design even this the row with the highest permission. And I try to edit it by replace the design ID in Canvas. It will report this error. So it's anyways failed to edit it. Yeah, and I found this error is the same one in all the other catalog thumbnail, like this one.
So
Yeah, it's the same one.
Abid, is there a way to open the designs in a view only mode?
No, I think not in the view only mode, but I think last time when I checked, like if you get the idea of the original design, then you can actually like edit it. Yeah, I think if you have like product privileges, then, but yeah, but I think this one is kind of the, I'm not sure, but maybe this is the catalog ID because we keep the catalog metadata, I think inside the same design row, but kind of as a separate thing. So, but yeah, we can edit it. But I think I've done that in past, and sometimes people get around it, and we have messed up published designs.
So how do you guess the design ID if we can't see that in here?
I think it might be you might be able to get it. I'm not sure, but maybe from the recent panel or like some other way, like where we might be showing the like irrespective of whether they are published or not. Like those yeah, I think maybe from the designs panel or some other place you might be able to find the original design. Because I think we have a way to find the ID and then go to it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I will check that.
It might be, you might find the workspaces panel helpful in finding the other ID, like the design ID, not the catalog ID, which is super confusing. I mean, that's sort of an internal concept. But that might provide some insight as to why you occasionally see that a catalog design can be changed, and why most of the time you see that it cannot be changed. And so in the case of, I think in that particular design, it said it was created by Varad. So you might be able to search, find Varad as a user and then find his designs, maybe. Yeah, this might be the catalog link. I'm not sure. If you were to go to him as a user, if you click on his avatar, and from here under designs, the tab, yeah, you know this isn't the easiest way to search, but it might be that you could. There's only 38 designs, so not many at all. If you go to here, if you stay here and you paginate, scroll down. Now, actually, if this UI is done the way that it's supposed to be, you probably won't find it because it's no longer a public design. It is a published design. So yeah, finding that other design ID is something Abid's he's gonna have to prove his words, I think. Probably. It does show up here because it's published, but how to get the other ID is the question. Good, we do need to get to the bottom of it. And it is obvious that the Canvas snapshot routine that runs is running into the permissions issue, which in some respects is good. But every snapshot has permission issues, Abid.
Actually, I was not sure of that. I'll take a look.
Cool.
Yeah,
So there's a couple of, so Varad, you see the pink official and Fahim, You guys see the pink official label? It shouldn't be pink. The verified label shouldn't be pink. Those should be non-customizable. And Fahim, do you got that?
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. You're gonna write it. You got it, right?
Yeah. I will remove
Okay.
the.
There's one other, if you would, while you're taking notes, because I know you're writing it down. I know you are. As you write down, the second thing you could write down, if you would, is the notifications that come out, the snack bars, those little toast notifications.
Yeah.
They have a specific color, like green for good, red for bad, yellow for. We want to leave those the original color if we can,
Yeah.
because there's meaning behind that color. We don't want it to be org themed. Otherwise, you have a pink notification and it loses its meaning.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Zahan, those you had 3 updates. I mean, those make sense to me. Those are good.
Actually, like Zahan, I just tried with your published design and I could open it directly in design.
Yeah, you guys will want to exchange notes specifically. It might. You're not in the all organizations. I don't know if it's a good use of the meeting time to go over.
Yeah. So I was
Anymore.
in some random organization and I just used the design ID in here. So this link and it kind of put me in correct place.
Oh, this one is not published one. It's once I open the, because I can't open the published one. Yeah, so I just copy a design on here.
See, I thought it was published because I found it from catalog here. Yeah, this is the one I use. This is from the published catalog. This one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, did you recall if you published that one or not, Zahan?
Yeah, I published that.
Okay. Yeah. It's still good. Still some particulars need to be nailed down, but it does look like there's a point of confusion for sure. A point of something we need to clarify. What either, any which way we've got to clarify. Yeah. And if for sure, just like Zahan said, the snapshots, they're having the permission issues, show up. And so. Well, good. Was Zahan, did you have other updates?
No.
All right. Very good. Great. All right. Next up, we've got, speaking of Varad, we've got an update from you.
Yeah, let me share.
All right.
Yeah, so hi everyone. So I've been working on combining the add-ons. So we have, for the enterprise plan, we have 3 add-ons. So I've been combining both of the enterprise plan and the add-ons. So this is how it looks when you choose the academy. So these are the few add-ons, and with add-ons there is an enterprise user which you can change as per use, and it just multiplies the price that we have for an enterprise user and just adds it to the total. So
Okay, let's see. Yeah, so, okay, this is a good update for the website's call, not for Meshery dev meeting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I will be making the same change in the cloud as well.
Got anything else?
So one is for user contributors. So I've been working on broken links across a few websites, nearby sites. So this is a good issue that any user would have loved to contribute to. So this is like a workflow adding a broken link checker. So if anyone interested, could just comment on this is when I will be signing. Yeah, those are the questions.
All right. Fahim, you're up next.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a very minor updates, but yeah, it's very basic. Yeah, first one was like the K8 when the suggestion that you gave yesterday regarding adding the default behavior in case the user has just added a cluster and they don't have to select, that will automatically be selected. For example, I just changed the behavior. For example, I don't have anyone selected, and when the user will like if the their context is empty. So it will automatically select the old default behavior that we already have. So in that case, it will automatically select the clusters. Yeah. Yeah, the second one that you told about the stale state, the age, that one I have to work on. But yeah, I have that one written down. So yeah, that will be the next thing that I would be making progress on top of this. Yeah. Anything on this one?
Nikita or others?
Yep, looks good for him.
Thank you. Yeah. And one more small one was the adaptation of the icons and the workspace cards based on the theme, or based on the org colors.
Nice.
Today were only these two updates. Yeah.
Actually, I add some review comments if that might be helpful for other guys also because like with the system. So one of the tokens that we previously were using was like background. It was kind of bastardized and was used every time like for icons or other places. So that thing is actually deprecated the background thing. So there is now a surface one which has just like 4 or 5 tokens for actual surface, and then there are tokens for icons and all of the other like interactive tokens. So all of the other tokens are kind of broken down for their purpose. So like we shouldn't be using the background one. And also I think there is one more set that was deprecated, and we can find that inside the palette. So I have marked which ones are deprecated in the documentation. But yeah, those shouldn't be used, but the new counterparts that are like using the theme should be used.
Yeah, instead of background, the surface. Yeah, the
Yeah.
surface. And yeah, for
And the
the
icons.
yeah,
For
for the
any place we're using icons, and then there are the text tokens for typography. Yeah.
yeah, we have taken care of that. Yeah, interactive to primary. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Very good. Next up, we've got Wiley. Actually, Wiley, that's an inappropriate update for this meeting. You can share that in the website's meeting. Sarah.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Sarah, do you want to give a description of what you're going to talk about while we wait?
No, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay. Can you describe what you're going to talk about while we wait for you to share your screen?
So generally, there was an issue opened by Aryan. We have to add my screen visible.
Yes.
So there's an issue opened by Aryan. We have to add a sort functionality for the columns like designs and views and themes. Like presently we have the sort for the updated ad. So I have to add a for sort for these columns. So in this I added the sort functions for these attributes. Because
Wonderful. And
No, actually, yeah. One thing like we shouldn't be doing this, like you are sorting on the UI. This should be handled by backend.
I thought of that, but it's a small, so I thought why not on the front end?
Yeah, why not on the front end? Sarah, why not?
So I thought we can add on the front end because these are the small attributes.
Yep, but why not?
Why not?
Okay. All right. I just figured I'd ask in case it was a good learning moment. Great. Do you had a different PR that you wanted to cover as well?
It's a simple PR on like link broken on the
Okay.
top
All
of
right.
Meshery.
Very good. Yeah. Thanks for fixing it. Next up is Ovid.
Yeah. So Actually, I have a pretty small proposal regarding the recent work that was done around meshing. So I think Nikita is also with us. So Nikita's recent focus was adding support for embedded meshing. So rather than having you to deploy an operator inside your Kubernetes cluster to talk with it and ingest data from your cluster, we can now directly basically run the ingestion process from your Meshery server. So it's the same logic and code that runs on your operator now directly runs inside your Meshery server and does basically the same thing of like ingesting the data. So my proposal is like right now we have kind of now two modes of deploying mesh sync. One is this new embedded mode and the other is the previous operator based mode, and my proposal is to make the embedded mode default. So I think it's been a month or two now while it's in production, and actually I think it's working pretty decently, and it's also kind of like easy and efficient to get up and running because we don't need to touch your cluster, so you don't need those special permissions from Meshery, and it's just kind of easy as a self-contained binary. You can run Meshery and get everything going without much hassle. And I was recently, actually yesterday, testing some other functionality that requires mesh sync, like having interactive logging and an executed terminal with your containers and other things in your cluster, and those were also working. So yeah, that's mostly my process, that maybe it's time to make it the default mode. So if you
I
have
think yeah, like it could
that's it. So
should be a good idea. Like, so what I can think like from the top of my head, like we need to update login, because right now, like if we have mesh sync as a library, it is like outputting logs in the same output stream,
yeah.
and it will be like very polluted because like it hit logs every like event. So we need to think about how to, or just like turn off completely login like on mesh sync part, or just like make them somehow like
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think one thing we might do is like
yeah.
for the logs that we spit out from meshing, maybe like lower the priority for them, like maybe make them debug logs, because we won't be running those in production, so it will be less noise, and it is kind of I think just a debug log. And in case there is
Yes,
error,
this would
then
be.
yeah, then we'll log the errors.
This probably should be the simplest one. Yeah, because you can just like turn these logs, which like log in like events from informer to be debugged, and then we will have not having them. Yeah, and only have them if you need, like you don't turn on debug. Yeah, that's an option.
Yeah, I think one thing I think you might have already tested it. I didn't, was like with the multiple cluster setup. Like if that's also working properly, then yeah, then probably
Yeah, I tested it. So like if we submit proper kube config, then yeah, it is like connecting easily, and even better because like we only need a kube config with read permissions, because like for operator we need a kube config which is able to deploy something.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any other opinion?
Yeah, I will take a look like in the login part, and then yeah, I think we good to go.
I think yeah, that would be great. Yeah. Also, I test like other things like changing it on the fly, like from operator based deployment to embedded, and that also worked, and that's also cool. Yeah, that was mostly it from me.
Alrighty.
Alrighty.
And so we're at the top of the hour. Nikita, though, you were just on this particular topic, you've got a couple of. So
yeah, let me share my screen very quickly.
Okay.
Share. Yeah, so it was a couple PRs, like which was related to Meshery operator, and yeah, they were fixing like an issue, like so we noticed like an issue when we when we submitting kube config and we need to deploy operator in a standalone cluster. So meaning like in a cluster where like Meshery is not deployed, and it was an issue. Operator was deploying properly, but like it was not able to normally update custom resource with the necessary information. And this necessary information is required for a Meshery broker to connect. So this is the proper one, you see, in the bottom, and probably will just open again. Yeah, so this is a proper configuration when you in the bottom have endpoint, and this information is consumed by a Meshery, so that to be able to connect to a real broker. But like in our case, it was like an issue that the operator was not able to provide this information, so it was like this. So it was not no endpoint information. Yeah, so it was actually quite a stupid error. So, but yeah, we fixed it in this PR. It was a kind of hot fix, and then like we added a proper fix and following up PR to use the proper method for my mesh kit. Yeah, now it's working. Like I mean, when we try to deploy operator in a cluster where mesh is not deployed, it is deploying properly.
Man, that's a big deal. That's good. So documentation update is coming, I think, on this to help
Right.
people clarify that. It's one of those things too that if there's any notifications to people about the state or health of or the mode under which a particular connection is deployed or how it is that Meshery is connected, any opportunity that we have to insert a link to documentation is a good thing. It might be that some people use the terminology in cluster, out of cluster. I don't know that it's necessarily universal nomenclature and so if we ever notify people or if we have, whether it's a notification or just in the UI where we're saying, hey, the mode is out of cluster. But yeah, a link to what that means, a tooltip to what that means be good. But external and internal are other terms that people use as well. Great. All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Tomorrow is the newcomers call. There's a weekly newcomers call. And that starts, I think, an hour earlier from today's meeting.
Yeah.
So, attend at will. Share. Did we miss anyone's critical update or a critical question that someone had that we need to get answered before a week goes by? Okay, yeah, we're 5 minutes over too. I didn't realize. Oh, great. Hey, thanks everybody for coming. And that's a wrap. We'll see you back in Slack. Yeah. See you guys
Bye,
later.
everyone.
Have a nice day. Bye.